Good morning. This is Bobby Dupre with the Bobby Dupre Show, presented to you each Thursday morning at 7 a.m. And of course, it replays on Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. And it's always on the internet, kdcg.com. And we have archived shows that you can watch. We have archived photo gallery. And we ask you to pass the word on to some of your friends.
And YouTube compatible means you can watch it on all your other devices, like your Android phones and tablets and your iPhones and iPads.
Whoo, you're getting way ahead of me there.
Oh, man,
I'm telling you.
We're high tech.
One of these days, I'm going to turn on a computer. I haven't turned one on
We're going to get
yet.
one with a big red switch
never
on
have
the side
failed.
for you.
Yeah. Never have failed. And of course, everybody kids me and tells me my iPhone is a computer. Well, it doesn't go by that name. So until it make it name the computer,
You
then
text, you send pictures, you Google, you do the map thing.
no, I don't Google.
Much
I don't know how
else.
to Google. I have that, I think, on there, but I don't know how to get to that. And I want to take my time. I want to stretch this out so that I have a good purpose to live.
Keep learning.
You have to have
you
a
keep
purpose.
your brain working.
Exactly. And I have one.
Well, I mean.
Yeah, I do. Thanks, God. You gave me plenty. It's worked well so far. And then, of course, we don't have the KSLO, which we had for 36 years. And I have gotten in touch with Rosetta Stone. And I'm considering, and they say they can teach me the Spanish language good enough to be able to speak for at least 30 minutes.
Oh, right.
So I kind of, start challenging you to maybe consider the same thing.
Oh, I can speak. I studied a little Spanish at LSU.
You did?
Okay.
You did?
I took a good semester's work.
I'm going to give a little story here. When Megan was over at Sacred Heart Academy in grammar school, she was taking French as one of the subjects that she had a choice of. And I talked her into taking Spanish, and she said, well, Daddy, I'm taking the French because of your French heritage. I said, I understand that, but I see where Spanish is growing so fast in this country and across the world that I really feel you talk about wanting to go into business someday. I feel that with your business training, and as it turned out, that's what she studied business at Tulane and graduate in May of this year. And so she did. She took it and she did pretty well. She represented the school at different district rallies. And I think she even took one semester or 1 year of Spanish at Tulane, and then she hasn't taken any since. She never did like the idea that she didn't take the French, I think. But really and truly, and thank God we do have a lot of people that are working hard to keep our French culture alive. And I guess the place it started was right there in the Lafayette area. Today, right in St. Landry Parish, we have a group that meets once a month, La Table Française. They speak French almost 100%, not quite. If you having trouble like I have trouble with certain words, it's a good place to go. I went there. Miss Mavis Frugier, you can contact her in Ornerville. They've taken the former Singleton Lumberyard building and have really converted it into a place where artists go at Nunu's and really have from the outside, you can't imagine the inside, how nice it's been converted, and on a limited funding basis. They're doing most of that work, if not all of it, themselves. Then there's a large part of the building that's for the arts, where they can, and crafts, where they can work and work. And then they also sell there. So there's a lot of French culture that is trying, and of course a lot of the musicians travel locally, and I think they're more popular. I think Hadley Castile was more popular over in Canada than he was here, because we take him for granted. We are taken for granted locally. Sometimes when we get these skills that some of these musicians have, that when they get away from here, they really spread the culture that we have, then that in turn creates tourism business. People want to come to Louisiana to see what it's all about. And the culture and the music and the food, that's what it's all about.
I agree with that.
I'm wound up this morning.
Man, I'm selling it today.
I'm selling it, and I try to sell it all the time. That's what the Bobby Dupre Show was started 36 years ago. It started for the spreading of the good things. There's a lot of other media that you can go to and find out all the bad things. Hopefully we'll never get into the bad things on this program here.
When I go away from Louisiana, I put all my local T-shirts in, and I put all my local ball caps. When I'm out and about, they can see I'm from Louisiana and try to promote.
That's correct, and it's easy to do. Try it.
Piggly Wiggly. Go down to your local Piggly Wiggly before you go on that trip and bring some of those good Cajun products with you when you go visit your friends all over the countryside. And right now they've got a bunch of specials. They've got the pork roast Boston butts for $1.19 a pound, the full cut boneless round steaks $2.99 a pound, and the whole fryers 89 cents a pound. 3 locations, 2 in Opelousas, 1 in Simsport, 1 on the south end of town, 1 on the north end. Man, I went and get me a bunch of some smoked pork neck bones and some pork backbones. I made me a big old pork stew this past weekend that I got over at the Piggly Wiggly. You talk about come out good. And I say I made it. I went kill everything and let my wife put it in the pot to see how that. I was the hunter and she was the cooker. But Piggly Wiggly, they also do catering for you as well over here on the south end. They do plate dinners as well. The pig knows best. And one more sponsor. Let's talk about how about Carl's?
What about Carl's?
That's exactly where I wanted to go. Carl's Thrifty Way over here on the south end of Opelousas. All your medicinal needs. If you're looking for your prescriptions filled, if you're looking for over-the-counter medication, if you're looking for home decorating ideas, gifts, they have all that in the store as well. Come by and take a look around. They'll help you with home decorating.
And I might add that there was a lady that worked there for a period of about 3 years, Miss Ruth Olivier, very attractive lady, always well dressed and very much on top of things within the gift department there. And I might add that Lorraine, who works there, was sitting in a different area. I said, it's just temporary. She said, oh no, they have cleaned out they've sold the merchandise at that 50% and more sale that was going on, and they've cleaned out the area, and when you walked in, you'd walk into kind of on the back wall. That would be the south wall, and that's where the counter was. Well, now when you walk in, the counter is right to your left, right on the left of the store.
Near the door.
And near the door, and that's going to stay there, she said. And it opened up a whole big area, and it's open, and they're waiting for the new merchandise to come in.
Spring, Easter.
Spring, Easter, Mardi Gras.
Graduation.
They really have a big gift department. And of course, Carl wants us to also remind the people that they are wanting and needing and would like to have your business for your filling of your prescriptions.
You can make a phone call and get all your prescriptions switched right over. You can do that right now, get it all done. They'll take care of everything for you. You can just make those calls to get your refills.
And I went by Sunday, I went to a horse auction, which I'll talk about just in a little while. But on the way back, I stopped in at Melanson Funeral Home in Carencro, the new Melanson. They have 2 locations, but the new one, and visited with the family, and it was so, I felt kind of strange walking in because I didn't know the children. The son, I was introduced to Kent by some nice ladies inside, but when I walked in, I was greeted by Janelle and Ken Savoy, who are our sponsors since we started on the television show. During the commercial break. And they had gone to school, all of their starting in Cankton in the 1st grade.
With Miss Ruth Olivier.
Miss Ruth Olivier. And the other ladies there had met her and graduated with her when she got to Sunset in the 8th grade. Till she graduated. So, and they watched the Bobby Dupre Show. So, good morning to all of you. I felt so, you know, at home, I guess, you know, when you walk into a big funeral home and you don't go around, you know, just introducing yourself like I try to do in other places. But anyhow, very nice lady. Our deepest sympathy to the family.
Well, while we're down in the Sunset Chrétien Point area, how about congratulations to Mr. Winfred Sabile, who was reappointed to the UL board for University of Louisiana, I guess throughout the whole state. His district had been rezoned, but they have a few at-large bids, and they kept him on. I think it's the 4th governor he has served none.
That's correct.
Must be close to 30 or
and
30 years.
He was chairman, if I'm not mistaken.
He was at one time. That's correct.
So, Winfred, we're proud to say that we know you and worked with you.
Was assistant superintendent under Brother John, and principal in Palmetto when I was a little boy over there and lived in Palmetto. So, tell Miss Velma we said hi too.
How about that? And let's see. You want to go?
I got some more stuff.
Well,
what you want?
Let me go over a couple of obituaries.
There you go, that'll work.
Miss Lenora Freelow Olivier died, and she was buried on January the 4th, a few days ago. And the Freelow Oliviers from the Freelow Cove over there, very well respected. I saw where one of her brothers was Mr. Wilmer Freelow, and Mr. Wilmer and his wife used to bring the mail when John and Cody were in the Second World War. There was no mail delivery at Mom and Daddy's. It was a dirt road, so the mailman didn't have to go there. They went on the main road, 104, I think that is, that passes there. And when they had mail from John or Cody, they would come at night. So Mama told me several different times, she said, when I'd see that vehicle coming, I knew I had good news from the boys, because it wasn't the military coming to pass the news like when your child gets killed in the military, they send military personnel to break the news or give you the sad news. And anyhow, so very well-known family and very helpful to us many years ago. And then Miss Verdina Pete, and I didn't know Miss Verdina Pete, but I knew her mother, Miss Florence, and she's still alive. Miss Florence, good morning. Hopefully you are going to get the message that I told you hello. We used to talk a lot. She used to pass on different things that were occurring over in the Plaisance area. And then one more, and then we'll save the rest for another break, is Miss Margaret Roy. And I knew Margaret Roy a little bit, a couple of years older than I am, and but I remember her from going to school, and she was married to Harry Roy from Port Barry. And so when I saw that, she was a very attractive lady, and good family, and I see where Nikki McCormick is one of her grand, and Chance Mistrick is one of her grandchildren. So well-known family. Our sympathies to all of the family.
How about this? The Tourist Commission is going to have a class on social media. If you want to learn about using Facebook for your business, Twitter, or YouTube, you can go by the Tourist Information Center at I-49 exit 23. That's in Nuba. Diane Davis Green from UL Lafayette will teach a 2-hour class on how to utilize social media for your business. So go by it. It's Tuesday, January 15th at 10 a.m. And we're going to take a 1-minute break. Folks, we'll see you on the other side of 1 minute.